Well, hey everybody, it's your good buddy 650 Eve here, coming to you from Sills Motor Sales in Cleveland, Ohio. In today's episode of the new bike build series, Zak the Master Mechanic is going to install a beautifully hand-polished swinging arm and some other parts onto our 2022 BMW S 1000 RR. This is leading up to us finishing off this motorcycle and offering it to one of you, outstanding people, for viewing the video. Information on how you can possibly ride away on our machine is down below in the description. Come join our Patreon family and you just might get lucky. All right, for right now, I'm gonna go right inside that building right there and see what Zak the Master Mechanic is doing. So Zak, we're back again.
We are back after a little hiatus.
Yeah.
Just popping off our suspension sensor off the rear swinging arm, because we're gonna go ahead and replace it with something super cool that I don't think anyone's seen yet for this bike, at least. And it's gonna match the gas tank almost perfectly and give it that much more of an HP4 look, because the HP4 actually had a polished aluminum swinging arm.
Yes, it did.
So this is black, as you can see.
Yeah. And why are we calling that, guys? It's because BMW officially calls it a swinging arm as well.
Or it's just translated poorly, but.
Yes, yeah. So we're going to continue.
We'll go with it.
Yeah, sounds great.
So basically what we got to do, we got to get the suspension sensor off. This is what tells the bike what the rear suspension is doing.
Okay.
And then based off of that, it assumes what the front is doing. They do sell an additional front rod for the front that will tell it exactly what the front's doing, and then it lets you split compression and rebound dampening in your front fork. Supposedly makes a big difference. We haven't tried one yet. I haven't got anyone to try one yet.
Okay.
So basically it looks like we gotta pull the lower shock mount off and then pull the linkage for our shock mount off.
Okay.
And then the center pivot bolt will come out. All right, we'll leave that there. Now we can loosen up the two lock nuts. I feel like the one on this side was like gigantic, because we loosened these on your bike. This does have the adjustable swing arm pivot as well. You can see it's in position 3 now, I believe. We actually adjusted yours on your M bike to lower it as much as we could.
Yep.
So I must have a socket for this, but gotta find it. All right, so found it. It's a 46 millimeter socket. Actually, it measured 46.6, so maybe it's a 47. Oh, wasn't even that tight. Excellent. So we can break that free. Yeah, so we were in position 3. That's how it comes. If we wanted to change it, we would loosen this and then spin this, but we found on your bike it was actually pretty tight in the frame there. Yeah. We wanted to gall it, and it would just change. It changes the angle of attack on the swing arm, so it can give you better traction out of a corner or into a corner. Depends a lot on your riding style or what you want. Or you could lower the bike just a little bit. I don't remember, what did we get? Wasn't much.
I don't remember, yeah. It's noticeable when you look at it.
Yeah, it's noticeable, especially when we had it against another bike. Maybe 5 millimeters or something, I kind of vaguely remember. All right. So we should be able to pull out our linkage bolt and shock bolt now. And then pull the center pivot out here. And hopefully we have enough room. Yeah, thanks, Ebe.
Yeah. Look at that.
To get the swing arm out, and this can just hang here. So you can see it's got a pretty cool linkage because of the upside down swing arm.
Yeah. That's freaking nice.
And this is the part that actually gets changed if you wanted to lower your bike with a lowering link. So now we can go ahead and pop this over by the other awesome swing arm.
And for that, we're going to bring in King David, the person that transformed the swing arm from that into that.
Look how much better it looks. It's freaking amazing. Dave, why don't you tell us how you made this swing arm look the way it looks compared to, this is what you started with.
Well, first and foremost, that was a 2-week process. First of all, I chemically stripped it and basically had to scrape all the factory powder coat off of it, which was a complete nightmare. And then once I was done with that, I washed it off and sandblasted the entire thing. And I filed, because it's a cast these swing arms are cast. You don't realize it. This is all cast aluminum. So you have to sand or file all that out. So here I sanded it. On the sides, I filed it out. And just lots and lots of time with emery cloth and wet sandpaper.
Look at the difference between the finish here, how this is smooth and how rough this is. So when it's cast, they actually pour the liquid metal into something that looks like this swing arm, a mold, and then they pull the mold off so it leaves all these little imperfections. And they're not worried about the imperfections also because this is really thick, this powder coat.
It hides a lot of stuff.
It hides a lot of, you said once you got it off, there was like grinding marks and all kinds of crazy stuff from the casting because they have to break sometimes some metal off from a cast and then they'll just grind it. So he had to make all that look like it was a factory polished swing arm.
Yeah, I mean, and the sides, if you look at the sides, I mean, the sides look...
Oh, wow.
It's just like the tank, I mean, really. And we are ordering new badges for these because they bend when you take them off, so we're going to put new ones on there. But this was very, very difficult. I thought the gas tank was hard. This was... There's no comparison between the two. The fuel tank, although challenging, this one was way harder because of the fact that it had been... They used a grinder because of casting marks, and, you know, I had to file it off, and they're hard in different ways, but this one, there's a lot of time involved. But it'll look more like the HP4.
Oh, for sure.
Which is
and
neat.
It's going to make it that much more amazingly one-off, too.
And nobody's done it yet. So
this is a
first.
That's what this bike's all about. So speaking of making it look like a HP4, check out the wheels, too. We're waiting on a couple other parts to get these together, but this is almost a dead copy of an HP4 wheel that then you applied the correct paint to.
Yep. Those are World Superbike spec OZ race wheels that I sandblasted.
Super light. But the spoke pattern, I wish we had your HP4 here. I mean, that's almost dead on. I feel like all yours are cut out and it's almost a circle instead of this
I almost believe that HP wheels, they're so close that HP wheels are manufactured by OZ or just not
branded as OZ. The spoke
OZ.
looks almost exactly the same.
They're like an H-beam style spoke. I would say without OZ's name being on an regular HP wheel, they're like the same exact wheel. Like, other than the fact that those are World Superbike ones and they're really, really light.
And of course, we got some awesome Brembo T-Drive rotors that are going to go on there. T-Drive, because that's how the rivet package works. It's how it's attached to the holder, is by this T shape. So, and they're nice and thick.
Oh yeah.
So it'll match up with our Brembo calipers. Awesome, and should have great clamping force.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so we just wanted to show you the two side by side, and now we'll get this polished one on the motorcycle so we can see what it looks like. Something like that, I don't know. Let's see. Put that through there. Yeah, I think like that. And then kind of guide that into the frame there. Can you guide the swing arm into the frame? Or will it not fit? Oh, it fits, all right. You got a hand on it? Oh, keep your hand on it.
Push it.
Cool.
Almost through.
Yeah, it should be enough to hold it. Now we can get a bolt in the linkage in the shock so that it won't do any harm to anything. There we go. So we can spin it in kind of fast for a little bit. And then we're gonna set that to 15. So not very tight even. It still moves up and down, as you can see. Now we're gonna back it off 120. I don't think this will measure it, even though that does angle torques. There's not really gonna be any torque on it. So we're gonna have to go to our old analog gauge. Stick a weight on it down here.
That looks pretty medieval.
Yeah, from doing on old boxer engines, you always had to use an angle torque on the head nuts, and we did it like at the first service and some other interval too. So this actually got used a ton. So basically that's a weight, it's gonna hang where it's 0. I can back it off 120 degrees now. As long as I clear that. And we'll reset this to 0. It's nice because it calibrates every time. It can't be wrong. All right, so we're at 0. So we're gonna go backwards till we get to, that's 360, and we're supposed to go off 120, right?
Yes.
So would be 240. So we back it off till we get to 240, right there. Again, it's probably not that important. You could probably just back it off a little bit and retorque it to 5.
Whoa.
But whatever. I can't see that being any different than just backing it off and torquing it to 5. Where's that adapter? And now we're going to go to 5 Newton meters, which probably isn't much more than where we're at. Right there's 5.6.
Okay.
Hopefully the 0.6 doesn't get us. So now what we're gonna do is hold this side. Dave, if you want to actually, if you wanna hold this side, I'll tighten the other side. So now we're gonna take this up to 100, which is pretty tight. And try to hold the socket as square as possible so it doesn't mar up our nice looking nut. Okay, we made it. Did good. All right, so I'm just pulling off the side stand switch here. I don't remember if we showed this before in a previous video. So this is your side stand switch. It has this little prong that sticks out. It goes up and down with the side stand, and then it turns that into electrical value so the ECU knows whether the side stand's up or down. Best way I've found to get the springs off of something like this is grab a piece of rope and use it to pull on. Then you can relieve the tension. And we'll just pop them off. And then there's a I think it's a T50 on the back side of that we have to loosen up. If you show the camera back there.
Yep.
Yeah, can you see it from that side? We're going right here.
Yep.
And it is a T50, I was right. Cool.
Yes.
So, just gotta find a ratchet. And take this bolt off, and that'll get the side stand off the motorcycle. As you can see, I've added the chain adjusters and swing arm spools to the swinging arm.
Yes.
And we just temporarily put the decals on it. We got some new ones on order.
Nice.
Because those just don't come off very well.
Yes.
They're very, I mean, actually we could probably glue those on and they'd be fine, but we're gonna get some new ones. They're like 40 bucks each. It's not worth messing around. But I really think it finished off the way. And we mocked up our Aero exhaust pipe to see how it looked. And we all actually kind of like it. I think it makes the exhaust look better, actually.
Yes. It does, next to an exposed aluminum arm, yeah.
Yeah. So this bolt's got Loctite on it, takes forever to come out. This is actually a pretty easy bike to change the side stand on though. Some bikes make it overly difficult.
Yeah.
There's no bearings, bushings, anything. There is a bushing in the frame. It's kind of like waxy, so it should never really need lubrication.
Okay.
So you don't need to put a grease or anything on this when you put it back together. We'll grab our new full 6
carbon fiber kicking stand.
Carbon fiber kicking stand here.
I love that term.
And see how it just has that little curve in it? I don't think our other one did. We do have to move this stopper piece over so that it doesn't make a clanking noise when it goes up. Just pull it out, push it back in. Doesn't get much easier than that either. We'll pop a little bit, we could put red Loctite on it, it's fine. We don't want it going anywhere.
Okay.
And this, I can't remember if we weighed it last time or not, isn't so much for weight reduction. It's pretty much just cosmetic.
Yes.
Because it's gonna match our frame covers, look real nice against the swinging arm. Nice and free, so that's good. I am curious to see if it does sit any different. Hopefully it does on the side stand. Since we're not going to get to our chain and sprocket today, I can hook our shifter back up and pop this cover back on just so we have somewhere to put it.
Okay.
All right, so that's all we got for you today, but we got a lot accomplished. We got this one-off swing arm installed onto our HP4X, making it look like an HP4 race and an HP4 all in one fell swoop just by taking off the powder coat, smoothing it out for hours, sanding it for hours, and clear coating it, no problem.
Yeah.
We also popped on this awesome full 6 carbon fiber kicking stand.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we don't have wheels right at the moment.
Yep, those are coming.
Those are coming. We had some, they weren't correct. So we'll have to get that figured out. And so we still have no rear brake, but
Yeah, right.
just to keep the no rear brake thing alive.
Yes.
But I think it does look amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got a bunch done, and now you know how to take your swing arm on and off. I guess I didn't show how to lift the motorcycle. As you can see, I just did it by the oil pan. If you have the front tied down, because you need the suspension to be free, so you can't use a rear stand.
Yes.
Other place you could lift by is we've shown those pit bull stands before that go under your foot pegs.
Yes.
You could set your bike on those foot peg stands.
Yep.
And then that allows you to work on your swing arm and all the bushings and bearings and such. But it's coming along great.
Yeah,
Thanks for tuning in. This one was pretty exciting.
Yeah, it was.
And catch you guys in the next one.
All right, thank you.
Maybe we'll
Mr.
get this
Zach.
thing back on the road
Soon, yeah.
before the weather changes.
All right, which could happen tomorrow.
It
here.
could. We're running out of time.
All right, guys, you heard Mr. Zach. Somebody's going to be amazingly happy if they're selected to win this motorcycle. Information on how that could be you is down below in the description. All right, guys, we got more stuff coming for this awesome build. Stay tuned for more, and we'll catch you next time.
Later.